Let's be honest, one of the most uncomfortable truths men face today is this. Sometimes she's just not interested in you. And no matter how much effort you put in, how many texts you send, or how kind you are, you can't force attraction. That's the hard pill most men refuse to swallow. But here's where it gets controversial. Women don't always say it outright. They show it. Quietly. Subtly. In ways most men overlook until it's too late. Welcome back to the channel, fellas. Today, we're breaking down one of the most misunderstood realities in dating. The signs that a woman simply doesn't see you that way. Not because you're not good enough. Not because you're doing something wrong. But because interest, just like chemistry, can't be faked. And if you don't learn to recognize the signs early, you'll end up wasting time, energy, and emotions on someone who was never yours to begin with. See, society often teaches men to chase harder, to prove their worth, to win her over, to keep trying no matter how she responds. But that mindset creates heartbreak, not connection. Real confidence isn't about convincing a woman to want you. It's about understanding when she doesn't, and walking away with your pride intact. In this video, we'll uncover 7 things women do when they're not interested. And more importantly, we'll talk about what you should do when you see these signs. Because once you learn how to read these behaviors, you stop guessing and start leading with awareness. This isn't about bitterness or blame. It's about clarity. So sit back, pay attention, and by the end of this, you'll never have to question her interest again. You'll know. But before we start, listen carefully. What you see here in my channel is just a preview, not the full picture. If you really want to master the dating game and learn how modern relationships actually work, don't waste time. Rush right now to https://www.stoicapproachtolife.com, aka GVV or go to my description and click the link below and unlock the real strategies, the real teachings, the real results. Don't just watch, level up today. So, let's get started. 1. She pulls away. You ever notice how a woman's energy changes when she starts losing interest? It's subtle at first. A shift in her tone, a delay in her replies, a sudden busyness that seems to appear out of nowhere. When a woman isn't interested in you, one of the very first things she'll do is pull away. Not in a loud, dramatic way, but in quiet little steps that slowly create distance between the two of you. And if you're not paying attention, you'll mistake her silence for shyness or her absence for being busy, when in reality, she's already halfway out the door emotionally. Men often underestimate how intentional women can be with their energy. When she likes you, she's present. Her texts have warmth. Her tone carries excitement. She laughs easily, she asks questions, and she tries to be part of your world. But when she's not feeling it, that presence fades. You'll notice her body language close off. Crossed arms, shorter eye contact, fewer smiles. She'll start saying things like, "I've just been really busy lately," or "I'm not really looking for anything serious right now." And here's the truth. Those aren't just casual statements, they're polite signals that she's emotionally checking out. Now here's where a lot of men get it wrong. They try to chase harder. They think, maybe she's testing me, or if I just show her how serious I am, she'll come around. But that's not how attraction works. The more you chase someone who's pulling away, the more unattractive you appear. You start looking desperate, like you're trying to force her into wanting something she's already decided against. Instead of running after her, you need to pause and read the situation. When a woman pulls away, your best move is to do the opposite of what most men do. You pull back too. Give her space. Respect her distance. It's not about playing games. It's about maintaining your self-respect. If she's genuinely interested, she'll notice your absence and move closer again. But if she doesn't, then you've got your answer. No drama, no begging, no long explanations, just quiet confidence. Think of it this way. Interest creates effort, and effort is never one-sided. If she's no longer showing up, stop trying to carry the entire connection on your shoulders. A woman who wants you will make it known. She won't keep you guessing. She won't disappear, and she definitely won't make you feel like you're bothering her by showing interest. When she pulls away, see it for what it is. A message. A sign that your energy is better spent elsewhere. So instead of asking, "What did I do wrong?" start asking, "Why am I holding on to someone who's not holding on to me?" That question alone will save you time, pride, and peace of mind. 2. Her replies. Go cold. Let's be honest. Nothing messes with a man's head more than a woman who suddenly goes from warm and playful to distant and dry. One week she's replying fast, laughing at your jokes, maybe even sending those late-night messages that keep you smiling at your phone. Then, out of nowhere, her replies turn short. You go from paragraphs to one-word answers, from "good morning" to just "hey." That shift isn't random, it's a message. When a woman's interest fades, her communication always tells the story before her words ever do. You see, women are naturally expressive creatures. When they like you, it shows. They engage, they joke, they share. They want to be seen, understood, and connected. But when a woman's feelings start to fade, her enthusiasm follows. The emojis disappear. The responses get slower. Her texts feel like they were written out of obligation rather than excitement. And here's the trap a lot of men fall into. Instead of pulling back, they panic. They start texting more, double messaging, over-explaining, trying to restart the spark that's already gone out. But every extra message you send only confirms what she's already decided, that she holds the power, and you're chasing it. When her replies go cold, you have to read between the lines. A woman who's truly into you won't leave you hanging. She'll find a reason to keep the conversation alive, even if she's busy. So, when you find yourself staring at your phone, waiting hours for a simple response, don't lie to yourself. She's not just bad at texting. She's not overwhelmed with work. The truth is, she's emotionally disengaging. And the more you try to warm up her cold replies with constant attention, the colder they'll get. What you need to do in that moment is the hardest thing for most men. Stop trying to fix it. When you notice her effort drop, let it. Match her energy. If she takes hours to reply, you take hours too. If she's not asking questions, stop pouring out your energy trying to keep her entertained. This isn't about playing games, it's about self-control. Because a woman who's genuinely interested won't risk losing your attention. This is where self-respect speaks louder than any text could. If she's gone cold, don't try to reignite her interest through begging for attention. Let her feel what distance feels like from you too. Sometimes silence says everything. It tells her that you're not desperate for her validation, that you value connection, not confusion. And if she's mature enough to notice what she's losing, she'll come back with warmth again. But if she doesn't, then at least you didn't lower your worth in the process. Remember, a woman's replies reflect her emotions. When they go cold, that's your cue to stop chasing warmth from the wrong place. Protect your peace, protect your confidence, and understand this truth. Attention should flow both ways. If you're the only one fighting to keep it alive, then it's already gone cold for good. 3. You're always the one. Chasing every man has been there. The stage where you realize you're doing all the calling, all the texting, all the planning. You're the one trying to keep the spark alive while she's just coasting along, giving bare minimum energy. When a woman isn't interested in you, one of the biggest red flags is that you're always the one chasing. It's like running after someone who keeps walking just fast enough for you to never catch up. You tell yourself it's effort, commitment, persistence. But deep down, it's desperation dressed up as loyalty. Let's be real. Chasing feels exciting at first. You see it as a challenge. You think, if I just show her I'm serious, she'll see my value. But here's where most men go wrong. Genuine attraction isn't earned through constant pursuit. It's built through mutual interest. When you're the only one chasing, you've already created an imbalance. She's the prize and you're the pursuer. You've handed her all the power without even realizing it. Now, this isn't about blaming women. It's about understanding human nature. When someone doesn't have to work for your attention, they start to take it for granted. If you're always available, always reaching out, always accommodating her schedule, what motivation does she have to invest in you? None. Because you've made yourself too easy to reach and too eager to please. The right approach isn't to chase harder, it's to recognize the difference between effort and over-effort. Effort comes from both sides. It's communication, consistency, interest. Over-effort is when you're forcing something that's not naturally flowing. If you find yourself constantly trying to convince her to see your worth, that's your signal to stop. Respect yourself enough to step back and let her meet you halfway. The truth is, women are highly intuitive. They can feel when a man's energy shifts from confidence to neediness. And the moment they sense that you're chasing validation rather than connection, they lose respect. You might think persistence will change her mind, but what it actually does is confirm her decision to keep you at arm's length. To correct this, you have to reset the dynamic. Stop making her the center of your attention and start putting that energy back into yourself. Focus on your goals, your health, your ambition, things that make you magnetic without even trying. When you start moving like a man who values his own time and peace, the world shifts. Suddenly you're not chasing anymore. You're attracting. A woman who's truly interested won't make you chase her endlessly. She'll meet you in the middle. She'll initiate, reciprocate, and make the connection feel easy. But when she doesn't, when you're doing all the running and she's just standing there, it's time to stop running. Because real love doesn't require you to chase someone who's walking away. It asks you to walk with someone who's willing to keep pace with you. 4. She avoids alone time. There's a certain kind of truth that hits hard once you accept it. When a woman isn't interested in you, she will avoid being alone with you. It's not always obvious. She'll still smile. She'll still be polite. She might even hang around in a group setting. But when it comes to spending real private time with you, there's always an excuse. I'm busy this week. Maybe next time. Let's all go together. Those aren't coincidences. They're soft rejections dressed in courtesy. But here's the motivational part. Recognizing this behavior isn't a reason to feel defeated. It's a reason to wake up. When a woman avoids alone time with you, it's life's way of teaching you something powerful: self-awareness. It's telling you you're giving energy to someone who's not ready or willing to receive it. And once you start understanding that, you shift from chasing validation to protecting your value. See, too many men take avoidance personally. They think it means they're not good enough, not attractive enough, not successful enough. But it's not always about that. Sometimes a woman's lack of interest has nothing to do with your worth. It has everything to do with her preferences, timing, or emotional state. The problem is when you let her lack of interest define your confidence. That's where most men lose themselves. Here's what you must realize. Rejection, in any form, isn't punishment. It's redirection. When she avoids alone time with you, she's freeing you to find someone who wants your time, who looks forward to being around you, who doesn't need convincing to enjoy your presence. You don't lose when she pulls away. You win because you stop investing in someone who isn't investing back. That's the mindset of a man who understands his worth. Every no you get Every cancelled plan, every excuse is an opportunity to build emotional muscle. You start learning to observe patterns, not excuses. You stop begging for someone's attention and start creating a life that demands respect. Because the truth is, confidence is magnetic. When you carry yourself with self-respect, people notice. Women notice. Even the one who avoided you will notice the difference. Not because you begged for her attention, but because you stopped chasing it. So instead of asking, "Why doesn't she want to spend time with me?" start asking, "Why am I still trying to spend time with someone who doesn't value me?" That shift in mindset turns rejection into empowerment. You stop seeing it as a loss and start seeing it as guidance. The next time a woman avoids being alone with you, don't force the connection. Smile, wish her well, and walk away with your pride intact. Because real strength isn't in convincing someone to like you. It's in walking away when they don't. Remember, the man who values himself never begs for presents, he commands it. And when you move like that, the right woman won't avoid your company, she'll fight to earn it. 5. Flirting turns to friendship. One of the most confusing and emotionally draining moments for a man is when the woman he's been flirting with suddenly starts treating him like just a friend. It's subtle at first. She still laughs at your jokes, she still calls you, she might even hang out with you, but the energy changes. The spark you once felt? It's gone. What used to be flirty banter now feels like friendly conversation. And while you're still hoping for something more, she's already redefined your role in her mind. When that happens, you're not just in the friend zone. You've been moved there quietly, without a word spoken. Here's what makes this moment dangerous. Most men don't realize it's happening until it's too late. They confuse friendliness for interest, thinking, she still talks to me, so maybe there's a chance. But when flirting turns into friendship, it's rarely a good sign. It means the romantic tension has evaporated, and she no longer sees you as someone she could build attraction with. And if you don't recognize that shift early enough, you'll end up emotionally investing in a situation that was never going to grow. Now, let's be honest. Women know exactly what they're doing when they place a man in the friend zone. It's not manipulation, it's comfort. You've shown you're safe, reliable, maybe even emotionally supportive, but not exciting enough to spark desire. And this is where persuasion comes in. You cannot talk, text, or convince your way out of that zone. Attraction isn't negotiated, it's inspired. If you want to shift her perception, you have to stop acting like her emotional support system and start living like a man with options. The key is to reclaim your value. Stop being overly available. Stop giving her boyfriend energy when you're not her boyfriend. When she realizes you've stopped orbiting her world, something interesting happens. Curiosity. She starts wondering why you're not chasing anymore. That's when her perception begins to change. It's not about playing games, it's about reclaiming your sense of mystery. If she once flirted with you, there was a spark. It existed. Your job isn't to beg for it back. It's to reignite it through presence, not pressure. Work on your confidence, focus on your goals, and rebuild your masculine energy. The moment you stop trying to be what she wants and start becoming who you are, you flip the dynamic. She'll notice the shift, the new tone in your voice, the new way you carry yourself, the quiet self-assurance that wasn't there before. So, if flirting has turned to friendship, don't beg for attention. Withdraw it. Let her feel what life is like when your energy isn't constantly validating her. Because when a woman senses that your focus has moved beyond her, it either reignites her interest or clears the path for someone who genuinely deserves your effort. Either way, you win. Real attraction doesn't need convincing, it responds to confidence. Stop chasing her attention. Start commanding it. 6. She talks about other men. There's a reason this one stings more than the rest, because it feels personal. When a woman starts bringing up other men in your presence, especially the ones she finds attractive, funny, or so nice to talk to, it's not by accident. It's communication through implication. And if you're paying attention, it's one of the most educational moments you'll ever experience in understanding female psychology and social dynamics. Let's break this down properly. Women are naturally selective communicators. They know the power of words and timing. So, when she starts mentioning another man repeatedly, she's sending one of two messages. Either she's unconsciously showing you that her attention is elsewhere, or she's consciously testing your emotional awareness. In both cases, the message is the same. You're not the one currently occupying her romantic interest. And the sooner you understand this, the faster you'll stop misreading signals that were never meant to be romantic in the first place. Now here's where emotional intelligence comes in. A lot of men make the mistake of reacting. They show jealousy, start comparing themselves to the guy she mentioned, or try harder to outshine him. That's the wrong move, because the moment you compete for attention, you confirm your insecurity. You've shown her that her opinion of another man can shake your confidence, and that instantly lowers your value in her eyes. Educated confidence means responding with composure. It means recognizing that her words are data, not drama. You learn from them without letting them control your emotions. When a woman talks about other men, it's a mirror, a reflection of where her focus truly lies. And instead of feeling hurt, use it as a moment to reflect on your position. Are you trying to force attraction? Have you been too available, too predictable, or too accommodating? Women are naturally drawn to challenge, mystery, and self-assurance. If she's openly admiring other men around you, it might mean she doesn't feel that spark of excitement or leadership from you anymore. But that's not a permanent label. It's a wake-up call. The educational takeaway here is this. Attraction isn't built on convincing her you're better than someone else. It's built on being so self-assured that comparison becomes irrelevant. You don't compete, you stand out. You do that by cultivating your purpose, growing your skills, keeping your composure, and carrying yourself with quiet strength. When you live with confidence, she can talk about anyone she wants, but her actions will always circle back to you because confidence has gravity. So the next time she brings up another man, don't get defensive or withdrawn. Smile, stay calm, and focus on being the man who doesn't need to prove himself. That's the real education, learning that attraction is earned through presence, not pressure. Women respect men who remain grounded no matter the conversation. When you stop reacting and start observing, you stop losing power. Remember, her words may mention other men, but your silence and composure will remind her that none of them are you. 7. Her energy says, you can fake words, but you can't fake energy. A woman's true feelings toward you are rarely hidden in what she says. They're revealed in how she shows up. Her tone, her eye contact, her enthusiasm, her body language, those things speak long before her mouth ever does. When a woman isn't interested in you, her energy tells the story loud and clear. The only question is, are you paying attention? See, energy doesn't lie. When she's into you, it's in her vibe. She lights up when she sees you. She laughs at your jokes, even when they're not that funny. And she finds little reasons to be near you. Her texts have warmth. Her voice has excitement, and her presence feels alive. But when she's not interested, everything shifts. Her laughter sounds forced, her replies lose spark, and her eyes start wandering even when you're talking. You start to feel like you're pulling energy from a dead battery. No matter how hard you try, it just doesn't recharge. And here's where awareness becomes your superpower. Too many men ignore this energy shift because they're listening to words instead of paying attention to actions. She might still say, "I've just been busy," or "I still care about you," but her energy feels flat. Her attention is elsewhere. That's when you have to step back, not in anger, but in clarity. You're not losing her. You're learning her truth. What makes this lesson powerful is that once you learn to read energy, you stop falling for mixed signals. You stop getting trapped in confusion. You can sense authenticity instantly, who's genuinely interested and who's just being polite. You begin to value your emotional energy the same way you value your time and money. You no longer chase low-energy connections because you realize that what you give should always be matched. The engaging part of this truth is that energy awareness changes how you move as a man. You stop over-explaining yourself. You stop begging for attention. You start observing more and reacting less. You learn that if someone's energy doesn't match yours, it's not your job to fix it. You simply adjust your direction. That's the kind of power that makes you unstoppable, quiet, confident, and grounded. Let's make this practical. If every time you talk to her, she feels distant, distracted, or emotionally unavailable, that's not an accident. If she's always on her phone when you're together, or seems like she's waiting for the conversation to end, that's her energy saying, "I'm not feeling this." But if you stay calm, collected, and respectful, if you choose to walk away rather than beg for attention, you win. Because nothing commands respect more than a man who can read the room and still keep his dignity intact. Attraction thrives on energy. It's invisible, but it's everything. Learn to feel it, trust it, and act accordingly. When you stop chasing mixed energy and start moving where the energy is mutual, your entire world shifts. You stop being the man who begs for love and become the man love naturally finds. At the end of the day, when a woman isn't interested in you, her actions will always speak louder than her words. You'll see it in how she talks, how she moves, and how she treats your presence. But here's the truth. None of that should break your confidence. It should build your awareness. Every moment of rejection is just redirection towards someone who truly values your energy. So stop chasing clarity from those who've already given you answers through their behavior. Stand tall, stay grounded, and remember, a man who knows his worth never begs for attention, he attracts it. And before you go, remember, what you've just watched is only a small piece of the puzzle. If you're serious about mastering the dating game and building real confidence in modern relationships, don't wait. Visit https or www.stoicapproachtolife.com, GVVLS right now, and get access to the full teaching. That's where the real transformation begins.